Get in there, my son. Manchester United 3, Sheffield United 0. Really pleased with that from Manchester United today. I mean, very, very comfortable for Manchester United. If you look at the overall game, we've not really been troubled from start to finish at Old Trafford against this team, which, if you'd looked at this fixture at the start of the season, would have been a home banker. But considering where they've been in the league, they've now gone on a little slump since the return of the Premier League. And we knew that it was going to be probably difficult to break them down. And I think the early goal really helped Manchester United get underway. That front three is what I want to see Manchester United line up with: Martial, Rashford and Greenwood. Although Greenwood was a bit quiet today, did have one chance in the second half, which took a deflection, which may well have gone in. That's the front three I want to see. I see goals, I see pace, I see lots of skill from them front three. And I'm not too sure how many goals, but I think it's over 50 goals from the three of them this season, which is fantastic to see. But Martial getting a nice first goal. I don't know what the defence was doing there, Jackie Elker and whatnot, to allow Rashford to hit that ball. It was quite hard across the two, Martial. And at first I thought that one of the Sheffield United blokes had just put it into an open net, but it was actually Martial. It was a well-taken goal. Rashford did miss a very, very good chance to make it 2-0 not too long afterwards, which was a bit of a kick in the balls, because I thought we really need to get that second goal just to put it to bed. I mean, we knew before the game that they weren't going to offer much threat going forward away from home. We thought that they would sit deep and just try to nick a goal, maybe from a set piece or whatever, or a bit of luck, and that was proved to be the case today, because Manchester United did throughout the game have the lion's share of it. They did come into the game a bit better though after that drinks break in the first half, but luckily Manchester United managed to get that second goal through Anthony Martial before half time, which really was a nice cool finish from Martial, which really put the game, I thought, in no doubt, to be honest, because second half Manchester United were really comfortable, weren't they? I mean, Jesus Christ, we were strolling that second half, to be honest, and that was great to see. It was just a shame that we didn't get that third goal a bit earlier, because he ended up making 5 substitutions all in a row, which was crazy to think. But if we'd got 3 or 4 goals up earlier in the second half, we maybe could have taken Fernandes, Pogba, Martial and Rashford and that off a little bit earlier, because we've got another game coming up, quick succession against Norwich at the weekend. So, but this Manchester United team now 13 unbeaten. 3 more goals from Manchester United. The only shame was that maybe Rashford or Greenwood or Pogba or someone else didn't get along the score sheet as well. But it's fantastic to see Martial get his first hat-trick for Manchester United. And over the years, yes, I've been critical of Martial's performances at times. He does divide a lot of opinion from Manchester United and other fans around the Premier League with his inconsistency. But on his day, them finishes were great, and if he could do that on a regular basis, he would be one of the top strikers in Europe. There's no question about that. He really would. And he's got the same amount of goals now as Marcus Rashford in the Premier League, which is great to see. He's a little bit older than Rashford, but maybe he is finally hitting his stride at Manchester United. I mean, we've seen other players come to the Premier League and it's taken them a bit of time, maybe not as long a time as this, and they didn't come as young as this, like Thierry Henry. He didn't hit the ground absolute running at first. He was a bit younger, a bit older than Martial when Martial came. Martial was quite young, was only about 18, 19, and it has taken him longer to hit the 20, 30 goal mark, and he still hasn't hit that yet. But Thierry Henry, it took him a long time before he was hitting 30. It took him a bit of time before he was hitting 30 goals. In his early parts of his career at Juventus and previously, he wasn't hitting the goals, and he was playing out wide as well. So I'm not saying he's going to hit the heights of that, but he has got an unbelievable amount of talent as Martial. And if he could play like he did today, 9 times out of 10, Manchester United would be up there challenging for the league. I believe it, because with Rashford and Greenwood, that is a massive front three threat for Manchester United. But Pogba just sitting in there deep, didn't do too. Wasn't absolutely outstanding, wasn't man of the match or anything, but just sat there and did his job and had a few good moments in the game. And Fernandes, obviously, they look good, they look great, they're class players. We saw that really good run from Paul Pogba in the second half, which could have been a goal, but Martial took the shot away from him. But overall, really pleased with that for the 3 points. Just content with it, to be honest, and we move forward to Norwich at the weekend. We can now sit back and hope that Man City beat Chelsea, and that would put Manchester United in a much stronger position to get into that top 4. It really would. We're level with Wolves at the moment, so it is touch and go. But with Leicester being horseshit at the moment, it really does give Manchester United the opportunity that we could still finish 3rd. It really does. It is all up in the air for Manchester United. We've got Brighton next in the league. They've been a bit bit on a run. They've got 4 points out of 2 difficult games, so we have to be wary of them because that is away from home. But overall, you can't be too disheartened with that from Manchester United today. I would expect a number of changes at the weekend, but we will see what happens when the weekend comes, the team news and whatnot. But overall, absolutely delighted to get the 3 points, and obviously Anthony Martial, no one else can be man of the match besides him. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think now we're 13 games unbeaten and we're still keeping this run together? We've had a few draws in there, but do you now think that Manchester United have actually really turned the corner? Because after sort of 9 or 10 games, or 8 games even, I wasn't convinced that Manchester United had turned the corner. I thought, I mean, even though this was a winnable game, earlier in the season we were struggling to beat these sort of sides that were sitting deep, making it hard for us. And that was my only worry in the second half. We couldn't really break them down. They weren't offering nothing going forward, and we weren't testing their goalkeeper. I didn't think enough in that second half, and we could have put more goals past them, but that's only the bit on the negative side. But I do think that Manchester United seem to have turned a corner now. Let's hope that that isn't a cliche from Touchwood, that we don't go and then fuck up against Norwich or Brighton or someone, but it does seem like Manchester United may have turned a bit of a corner under Solskjaer now. It's his longest unbeaten run, 13 games at Manchester United. We haven't had that for a long time. So overall, please, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.